guess that means I'm recording. Hard to say. Okay, somewhere I left my glasses over here because I didn't want to look like I was wearing glasses, but I got a reading glasses thing, so that's the way it goes. Okay, who am I? I'm Funnel. I'm just another guy that goes to Burning Man. Anybody can dump a video about Burning Man if they want to, so I might as well because that's what I want to do. I left one last year, which is about 2016. This is about 2017. So it was my second time, and the difference between that experience and the 2 years is very significant. I don't even know how to explain it, but there was a radical shift in my awareness this year, as there was last year. And, sometimes it's amazing how high the ladder is. I'm going to not follow this right now and say something before I'm misunderstood. And that is, I feel that Burning Man has the capacity of giving people a place to evolve. Whatever that means to you. Some sort of developmental event that is significant enough for you to call it evolving. The funny thing is, I feel like I've evolved, and at the same time, I know I am the same guy. So, hey, that's a Zen issue, I guess. So anyway, let's go back to this because that whole evolving thing didn't work out. Anyway, let's talk about entry. I left Fernley, which is about 80 or 90 miles from the Burning Man event, and I left it at 12:30 in the morning because I had gone the year before, and I thought getting there earlier would change things. Well, it didn't. It was still 7-8 hours, so there's no outsmarting them. No, they know what they're doing. Anyway, so it's going to be a long wait. Maybe if you wait until like Thursday when the event is almost over, maybe it will be a lot faster if you're willing to do that. Anyway, again, entry was a blast because you get a chance to go and meet so many people. And then you're there. I mean, you work so hard to be there that even the line is a freaking blast. The anticipation is incredible. Before I go any further, I want to thank people for gifting. Okay. This is from Melissa, who I might also mention as Kiwi Banana or Banana Kiwi. I forget what the order is. This is, I believe, from Sunny. It's the coordinates of Burning Man as a GPS thing. That's an interesting metaphor. You got to ask yourself, is Burning Man a location or in the heart? Ooh, so profound. Anyway, and this over here was given to me by, Overdrive, who is involved with the pilots and maybe a pilot herself, I don't know. But it's from Burning Man Camp 2017. Something the pilots gave me because I went with a friend because he didn't want to be by himself. It's like, that's a big deal. That was for Alex. And, he was very good to us. Oh my God, does that man play? Anyway, here's a cool thing that Alex also gave me besides his company, which was really valuable. Anyway, it says, protect me from what I want. 2017, Black Rocks. 2017 again. They're from Berlin. Not from Germany. They're from Berlin. Are you German? I'm from Berlin. This is what they tell me. So I'm pretty much guessing that they're from Berlin. Anyway, Sunny and Matisse and Alex, hospitable people. Couldn't get as chummy as I want to, but then again, my character was so different from theirs. It's amazing that they even put up with me. Anyway, setup. Okay, so I get in. I find a camp on K Street, And I set up, and I'm thinking, it's 7:30. I'm going to have more than enough time to set up before the heat hits. Little did I know it was going to be 118 degrees that day. I was not informed of this. Anyway, the thing is, I'm not acclimated. After being there for about 4 or 5 days, for some reason, knowing what was coming mattered. It made a difference. You know how to manage it a little bit, but not that day. That day, it was hot, 118. And the earth was kind to me because it gave me a 118-degree day, not the next day, which broke my thermometer, which stops at 120 degrees. I can't find the history, but I was told that it was definitely at 118. And if my thermometer didn't work, another day of 118 was still a sucky day. So anyway, here we go. So I set up by 2 o'clock. I was exhausted, and I was just happy to be there. Thank God for the disco bathroom and Christmas bathroom. Those were my high points on, I believe it was J and 430. That's where those bathrooms were. And there was another like Caribbean or South Seas or South American salsa thing. Never got a chance because, I don't know, I did look for it a little bit, but I liked the disco so much. It was so funny. And the man always had toilet paper in there. I know that toilet paper didn't come from nowhere because there was empty stalls up and down. So Mr. Disco Man, thank you so much for the toilet paper. Anyway, okay, it was hot and everything, right? But here's the thing. The nights were absolutely historic. The mornings were nothing less than glory itself. You got to see the sun come alive. It was under very nice conditions. I mean, it doesn't really get uncomfortably hot until about 11 o'clock. And then you got your morning. So most people are wiped out anyway, so they sleep right through it. But the point is that I didn't, because I was exhausted anyway. I went to sleep early, woke up early. I don't know if that's the night that I chatted with what is that? Banana Kiwi. Okay, that's her flying name. Okay. But anyway, the thing is that the nights are fantastic, of course. I mean, Burning Man shines at night. I mean, it's just the most amazing man-made wonder I've ever seen. It's just the impact of all that creativity simultaneously on your iris is incredible. Techno music, I could take it or leave it, but it wasn't all techno, and some of the stuff they did with it made the exploration worthwhile. I mean, it was incredible. Anyway, I'm ranting. Okay, Center Camp nights, beautiful. Okay, Center Camp, beautiful stuff. Okay, great. All right, love Center Camp. It sucks that there's no place to sit down and have a smoke. I moved a set of stairs to make a set of seats outside, and nobody hassled me. Because supposedly you can't smoke inside. Well, freak, that was an outside space, but not so far away. So, I wish non-smokers would consider us to at least be willing to sit down in the rain. Not that there's any rain there. But my point is, a lot of people smoke. And to make a public statement that we don't support smoking, and we won't support you smoking in any form, even if it doesn't interfere with us. That to me is just unneighborly. Anyway, Although nobody really hassled me. One guy said, "Do you do know that the rule is you can't smoke inside?" Which I didn't know. Of course, I didn't test it. I figured I see people smoke there on the fringes. I didn't think there was a problem. Yeah, I get you're not supposed to smoke in front of people who don't want it. I wish it worked both ways, man. Anyway, okay. Okay, here's the part that I've been avoiding. Not avoiding, but I put in a place because I wanted to say some positive things before I start talking about something other than positive. Okay. All right, there's 3 subjects here. I'm going to read them off, and hopefully, when I get to them, you'll be prepared to hear about them. One is fanaticism. Another one is stolen bikes. And another one is bad manners. Another one is PC, which is very personal to me, so it's really not a Burning Man issue. And then the last one, which is going to be very difficult to discuss, for me anyway, is rape, which actually does take place there. So let's start with the easy shit before we get to the fucking nasty stuff. Fanaticism. There are fanatics. It is a cultish environment. Specifically a cult with one lord or leader? No. There's one pink-haired man out there that might qualify for it, but I like so much of what he's done that, I just want to presume the best for him. Anyway, the thing is that it's a little spooky when you got fanatics. There's some people who are spouting the 10. These are the 10 recommendations. I forget what they're even called now. Somebody saw interest in what I was saying to somebody else, and this cat was he had a reporter and a camera. So I'm presuming it was some sort of news, whether it was underground or not. And they took an interest in what I was saying, which I tried not to make flattering. Okay, but come on. Who doesn't like feeling important? Why do you think I make this movie? Anyway, well, that's not the main reason, please. But here we go. So I was talking about the 10 principles, okay? But I wasn't talking specifically of them. I didn't, do the 10 commandments thing. So they said, okay, could you talk to me about the 10 rules, okay? And I said, I can't really remember any of them specifically right now for some reason, but I can say it all comes down to basically be a human being. And if you know anything about what it is to be a mensch, then you understand what I mean. Being a human being means more than just being somebody with arms and legs and a genital. It means behaving in such a manner as to be proud of your existence. Simple. Anyway, so be a human being and don't shit on mom, which the earth spawned us. Everything that you are came from the earth. You could talk about all kinds of spirit stuff and this, that, and the other thing, but your prime material is from the earth. The least you can do is respect that. I mean, she really is our mother. Anyway, let's talk about bikes. People are stealing bikes out there. Now, I'm sure that they're not all malicious, given the atmosphere and the lack of boundaries that seem to exist within the community, not outside of it, because law enforcement is ever ready. So the thing is that within the community, the idea of taking somebody's bike is not as thoroughly reprehensible as it would be outside that experience, because we understand that people are not thinking right, and some people are so way out on the principles that they don't see property at all. There's nothing I can do about that. I mean, that's the group I'm hanging with. Uncle Joe is all about not having borders. And as long as Uncle Joe doesn't really hurt anybody, why not? Be nice to see what that looks like. Anyway, stolen bikes. Happens a lot. One guy said that he secured his bicycle with a lock, if you want to believe him, and that it was removed. Now, I forget whether he told me to cut it or not. And it's hard to say. But the least I can presume with this guy is that he attempted to lock his bike, and when he walked away, it appeared locked. So if that's the case, if it appeared locked and somebody went ahead and even approached it, that means they tested the lock. And then, well, a lot of these stoners are sloppy with that shit. So, yeah, another $50 in the old pocket. Where's that U-Haul? So the thing is that there are predators out there. There are also people that are incapacitated, don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Okay? The thing is that when this happens in New York City, or some other urban area, or even in Greentown, and you leave your bicycle unattended and unlocked, knowing human nature, what it is, you are partially responsible for that. You didn't make any effort whatsoever to deny that. And the criminal, in his mind, most likely thinks that you're giving it away. You don't give a shit about that bike. Fuck them. And maybe you don't. Still doesn't make it right. But when you have to rationalize for a living, it's a bitch. Believe me, I know. I was in the railroad industry. If that isn't a fabrication, I don't know what is. Anyway, bad manners. Yes, there are bad manners out there. And sometimes it includes basically having a superiority complex. I know I'm right. I know the way to behave. And if somebody behaves in a manner that I flag as being grossly wrong, it is my duty as a Burning Man citizen to go ahead and inform that individual of their incorrect nature and their misunderstanding, regardless of whether or not I fully understand the context of his thoughts. Hey, they're out there. You know, there are people trying to do good that don't know how to. There's nothing you can do about it. At least their heart's in the right place. Okay, so I kind of skipped past the manners part. There were some incidents where there were these people standing, and I think they may have been British or Australian, which makes me sympathetic to them because I just freaking love those people. Anyway, the thing is that you know, they were being yelled at first by a couple of individuals. Sit down, and they were standing up, and the majority of the crowd was sitting down, but they wanted to stand up. Didn't stop anybody from standing up. So I don't know who these cats were, but I tried to intercede. But when you're right, there's no need to fully agree with anybody. You can give them a pat on the back for trying. Nonetheless, I thought that it was rude and not of the Burning Man spirit. I think that being a human being means not being a dick. At least not once you're informed of it. Excuse me, you're acting inappropriately. Am I? Wow, why can't we ask that question? Anyway, I'm pontificating. Rape. Okay, here's this one that I've been scared of. Okay, it's a guy talking about rape. There's a big fucking winner. Okay, so here's the thing. I've heard of this. I heard of it before I came. I heard of it while I was there last year, and this is the third time. Okay, first time I heard it, I wasn't surprised that somebody got raped. Later on, through the years, I found out it wasn't somebody. It was people, not just one poor incident, but an ongoing thing. Pretty foul shit. So the thing is, I don't know what happened to men. Act like they're a bunch of pussies. I'm wondering how many guys know something wrong is going on, but they just don't want to fucking get involved because they don't want to get their hands dirty. I am a fucking stone cold pussy. I can get the shit knocked out of me any day of the fucking week. But that doesn't mean I'll stand there. I'll take my fucking beating. There are some boundaries that some people should not cross when they are at Burning Man, and those boundaries don't necessarily exist. And they're often tested with people who have absolutely no control. You may have a lovely concept of, I would love to be in a world where people could just fondle each other and it didn't fucking matter. It was just texture, touch, the joy, some fucking Matisse shit. The fact of the matter is, we're not that evolved, and I don't even know if sexuality will allow it. The kind of the power behind sex is not to be trifled with. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be aware that you're messing with some serious shit. Some stuff that can go wrong. And guess what? There are people that will go wrong if you give them the opportunity. So the thing is that unless you can really handle that kind of shit, don't fucking start it. I'm not saying don't do it. At least have a fucking friend nearby. Make sure that there's some men in the fucking house that won't put up with that shit. Fucks their day up. Every fucking woman that ever gets hurt makes that guy a scoundrel too. You think men don't know that? We do. Anyway, it's not about men, it's about women. Okay, first of all, ladies, use your fucking heads. Make sure you're safe. Do whatever you want to do. Make whatever rules you want to make. Just make sure they're enforceable. There are some seriously bad dudes out there, and they will cause you misery. And they don't have to be big. Average guy is stronger than the average girl. Get used to that idea. Forget Hollywood. I've fought men. Those sons of bitches are fucking dangerous. Anyway, point is, if these ladies who these acts are being imposed upon do not have the capacity to protect themselves, for whatever reason, it behooves us, as citizens of Black Rock, to swear never to turn our backs on such a thing. I swear. I don't give a fuck who you are. A wide awake human being is fucking dangerous. Don't think your size, don't think your experience matters. Be just and be righteous. And believe me, that is a powerful combination that will make you an inventive son of a bitch. So, that's all I want to talk about rape. I feel like a fool talking about it. Anyway, on the lighter side, Revelations. Hey! I get to talk about me again. Okay. Revelations. Well, all that shit that I was talking about just now made me sour as hell. I said, fuck this place. It's full of shit. It's just a facade. Underneath, there's some dirty dealings and some stone cold ignorance. So, I abandoned it in my heart. I said, no, I will not participate in the charade. I'm not going to create Disneyland for the rich. I'm not going to feed the meatpacking plant. And then I got stoned. I mean, I was trying to get rid of the stuff. I want to take it home with me. So I go ahead and I'm trying to get rid of this herb, which is 3 years old. So I guess my generosity was not that great. But anyway, the thing is, I couldn't get any of this stuff, you know. So the thing is that, okay. So I send it out, much to my surprise. I mean, I thought it was gone, you know. I thought it was gone. So I was okay with that. I wanted it to go. It comes back. I am so surprised. I get a big thank you and a back. Funny thing, the same guys I would have pointed out as being, you know, rude to the people standing. Same guys. Nice guys. But not on that point. But anyway, the thing is that, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe they want some more. Maybe they, we're careful about it. I just, hey. So I send it back. So I'm thinking, maybe they'll keep it this time. That's fine with me. It comes back with more. More. Wow. So there's my ancient Peruvian stuff that was in somebody's, coffin for 50 years herb. And then there's this new shit. So the next day, when I was feeling all down and everything about everything I told you about, I smoked it. And I fell in love with the nature, the mountains, the sky, the moon. And I started realizing that my judgment upon Burning Man was not as a city, which it is. It's got everything. I mean, would I hold the entire population of a 70,000? I mean, Burning Man is the fourth largest city in Nevada when it's there. I mean, that's big. Shit, 70,000 people. That's a lot of people, man. Fill up a couple of stadiums with that. So the thing is that, so I was in a state of wonder and ecstasy, looking at nature, and I realized I was being unfair. So I started rethinking it and realized that, in my opinion, and that was then, and this is still now, so it's held, at least for a week or two, that my opinion is that Burning Man has the potential of being a place where people can evolve. I said this in the beginning. I think that is absolutely critical. And if there are issues with Burning Man by choosing not to get personally involved in that, means that I'm allowing it. I'm stuck. So I'm sorry, but I'm just not empathetic all the time. A lot of times I make decisions in my head, and those decisions lead to my empathy. I'm kind of backwards. Anyway, oh my God. I hope this is over soon. Okay, Revelation. Okay, so I believe Burning Man is big. I had some other personal revelations, but I think this movie's getting too long. New commitment. I told you about that, and leaving. Okay. So last thing that happens is I head off to Fernley, right? But it's not that easy. I have to get past the Burning Man site itself. That road looks like World War I was on top of it, because there was nothing but divots and waves and so forth like that. And I'm not talking a little bit. I'm talking cobblestone level. Actually, cobblestone would have been better. This would have been alternate cobblestone. That would be more appropriate. So the thing is that it's a horrific ride back, especially when you got a car that's filled up with 2/3 of its maximum weight or more. It's got so, man, you look like the Beverly Hillbillies when you show up in that place. Okay, so I'm going to move to another thing. Signs. I stayed to the day after the man burned, and when the man burned, people started leaving and signs started disappearing in greater number. This is a bullshit thing to do. Okay? You want your souvenir, okay? Come to my camp at 4 K Street between 4 and 5. Okay, I'll give you some dirt. You can take that home with you. I might even bring boxes if it saves a freaking stop sign. Well, not a stop sign, but you see, the thing is, middle of the night when I was having my epiphany and I was whacked, I got on my bicycle. Big mistake, because you can move faster on a bicycle and therefore get lost twice as fast, which I did. Which is funny because I've been bicycling to this toilet back and forth for almost a week at this point. Actually a week. And it didn't help. Because I really relied on the signs. Now, I know what you're saying. He's an old fuck. You know, he can't count posts or something. You're not supposed to, man. You're supposed to be able to look up at the sign and see where you are. You know, it's for everybody. You know, not just for the gifted. So leave the signs. Now, I know people want those signs. So here's the thing. Maybe if the organization promises to cut down the signs and put them up for auction, then they can auction off the signs. And if it's really important for you to have that sign, you'll pay for it, and the organization does fine. And if the organization can't take the money, give it to somebody else then. But at least, you know, leave the signs. It's just bullshit. And you know, I understand. If everybody if the city was gone, yeah, take the signs. But not when half of the city is still there, dude. People are still smacked out of the head, as I was. Okay, I'm gonna cut this short. So many things I want to tell you. Essentially, there's been a shift in my spiritual life, and I'm going to choose to be more spiritual. What that simply means is not ignoring things. So many spiritual thoughts come through my mind that I just simply ignore. Well, I'm not going to do that now. And, you know, I shut those things down. Now I'm turning them back on again. I think development of spirit right now for me is the way to go. And I think as a whole, the human race could use some more. Wouldn't hurt. Problem is, it's such an esoteric issue. Spirit. Sorry if it's not measurable. I guess it can't exist. Yet the very subject that we've been talking about for generations upon generations, so many examples, I guess they're all false. I guess because those people were technologically not as advanced as ourselves, they were incapable of understanding the essence of being. Oh, that's eluded them. Maybe it's done the reverse. Maybe our technology eludes us into focusing on something other than us. We're watching a bouncing ball. And we love it. The thing is that really life that has not evolved through a course of time and has remained immature and undeveloped. I guess forget immature, that's a very sucky word. Undeveloped, I think, is more appropriate. Because that's what happens sometimes. We get so involved in the outer world that we don't notice ourselves. And although this is a wonderful technique if you want to fully focus yourself, The fact of the matter is, reverie is essential for the heart. We have to think about ourselves from time to time. Otherwise, there's no one to think about. At least not. Not as an instinct, not as anything more than an appointment to see yourself. Is that what we're coming to? That's an interesting option. I think I should bring that to Apple. Anyway, Burning Man was more powerful for me this year. I didn't want to say that because last year it was so powerful. It seems ludicrous to think that my personal nature would be so grossly affected by it. Amazing. Yet it did. Most likely, some people might look upon this video as an individual who is highly neurotic, going for his second childhood or whatever. I mean, the hat I put on for being recognized because last year I wore it. You gotta have an ID. You know, what can I tell you? So if I'm gonna make these, like I probably will make next year, the hat, you're on the inside now. So anyway, I told somebody I will not talk to anybody else to go to Burning Man ever again. But I said to them also, I said, remove all of your considerations whatsoever. And without anything tugging at you. No stray thought. No paranoia. Clearness. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Ask yourself this question. Do I want to go? What is the answer? Unfettered. Do you want to go? Well, if you want to go, then go. Finding out how to go, finding out what it is part of the process. It's some of the stuff you do to earn the right to walk through those gates and roll in the dirt. So, just ask yourself if you want to go. Now, there are regionals, and they also carry the Burning Man 10. I went to one, Ignite, and it was very different because of its size. It's 650 people, which is by no means a small number, but going to Burning Man itself kind of makes these smaller events seem minuscule. Yet, on Sunday morning, I saw something of the heart of Burning Man alive there, and I reveled in it. So, maybe that'll work for you. And if you find an environment or a group of people that party in the way that you like to party or speak in the way that you like to speak, then that's your group. And you may have a better Burning Man experience there because you're surrounded by affinity. Complete. No questions asked. So that is what I would say to you. Know this, that the environment is not easy. That the living conditions are crude in many ways. But there is opportunity for invention, and anything that is extremely critical for you, if you focus on that and give yourself that one thing, you might be able to manage. So, this is Funnel, wishing you nothing. If you don't get me by now, you never will. I'll catch you later, brothers. Bye-bye.